So here we are once again in the Bucksum farm shop, cooking another lovely dish using our seasonal fresh produce, chard and tomato with ricotta bake. Chard with its lovely stems, different colours. Lovely seasonal vegetable, not everyone knows what to do with it, but often you can just use it in replacement for spinach. So obviously the fresher the produce the better, but if you've got some slightly wilted leaves which have been in the fridge a day or two, it's not going to be a problem, because at the end of the day you can put them in your pan and you're going to wilt them with the heat before they go into the bake. A knob of butter to a hot pan on the stove, and now I'm going to chop up my chard and add it to the butter and sweat it down until it's well wilted. So I'm just going to roughly shred the chard down, stems and leaf, and then drop them into the butter and, as I say, sweat them down until they're very well wilted. Obviously they will change colour, that's not a problem, because at the end of the day they're going to be baked in the oven. It'll look very decorative, but the flavour will be amazing. So once all the chard is in the pan, carry on and let it wilt nicely. We've preheated the oven to
about 200 degrees or gas mark 5.
And then we'll pop the whole dish when it's put together in the oven for...
It's going into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes until it's just starting to set, and then we're just going to brown it off under the grill at the end. Nearly.
You had a crashing moment there. You could say egg on our faces, but that'd be a bit too, wouldn't it? 4 eggs.
Okay, and we're going to beat that together with 250 grams or a small tub of ricotta. Okay, once you've beaten that together a bit, we're going to put most of the parmesan in. So we've got 75 grams of parmesan. That's ready.
So.
And we'll mix this in, which makes a really thick, goopy mix.
I love the word goopy. I'm sure it's not in the dictionary.
Okay, and then we're just saving a little bit for sprinkling on the top later.
So we're going to now slice up some tomatoes ready to garnish at the top of the dish when it's put in the baking dish. We can use a selection of different tomatoes depending on what you've got. You can use ordinary salad tomatoes like these, cherry tomatoes, or later on there'll be nice plum tomatoes which have got a nice thick flesh and not too many seeds. So the important thing to remember with tomatoes is to get the best flavour you need to keep them at room temperature and not in your fridge, because when they're cold you can't get the full flavour. So we're just going to slice them up with my marvelous sharp knife and one of my fingers. I'm sure that one there's in the way. Be a good moment to cut my finger, wouldn't it?
And while you're doing that, I'm going to check on the chard over here, which is starting to sweat down really nicely. So about 5 minutes to get it really wilted down. And you do need to start with a big pan, otherwise you're just not going to fit it all in. Okay, that's looking really nice. So we're going to add our clove of chopped garlic. Just stir that through and give it another minute or two. Okay, so we're going to season our ricotta and egg mix with about a teaspoonful of nutmeg, a pinch more, and some salt and pepper. goes through. And then we're ready to go. So we need to grab this really heavy pan. So, into our baking dish with the chard. This is where the rainbow coloured chard really comes into its own. So you get lovely colours all the way through. Add that out into our dish. So we're going to give that a good mix together in the dish. I find it much easier to mix it in the dish rather than in the pan. Because if your pan's still hot, you're going to start cooking your egg mixture before you're ready.
So just add the finishing touches with a nice layer of tomatoes across the top. And we're going to pop it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes until it starts to rise nicely and basically firm in the centre, and then under the grill for another 5 or 10 minutes just to crisp off the top.
I think we've got a little bit of parmesan left just to sprinkle on top of the tomatoes, which gives it that really crispy edge.
So here we are, just lifting the chard bake out of the oven. Now it just needs putting under the grill for 5 or 10 minutes until it browns over the top. So you can see it's pretty much set, just a little bit loose in the middle, but actually the rest of the dish is completely set. So about 5 minutes under the grill and you should have a lovely bubbling, beautifully coloured dish which is roasting hot, ready to serve. Beautifully done. Another one?
Yes.
You might have got the larger portion there.
So, thank you.
Right, the moment of truth.
That's really tasty.
Comment from the director before we cut. Okay, yum then that was.
Yeah.